50-year-olds of Reddit. What's one item you still have from when you were 23? Shoes I was bought for my university interview, now mostly used for funerals. Nikon FN2 camera which I still use daily. A lot of books. A damaged climbing carabiner that saved my life. It reminds me to check everything twice. A Dear John letter from my first girlfriend. We still keep in touch. A framed photo of my first dog. A cook's knife from a line cook I worked with whilst at uni. She made me a better cook and taught me to be less of an idiot. Not an easy feat, but the one thing I still have from back then is hope. I didn't get it right, but my kids might. I'm 44. So these are things I had before the age of 23. I have my original Nintendo Super Nintendo birthday Christmas gifts. I have the same alarm clock I got for Christmas in 1988, give or take a year. I have a toe box my grandfather made for me. He died in 1983, and I don't know what year I got it. In the late 90s I baled hay all summer and cleaned horse stalls to save enough money to buy my Max PowerBook 1400. It still functions and has some of the stuff I saved on it. That is the oldest thing I have I can think of that I paid for. I have for glasses and to small bowls that we use every day for our meals since childhood. 2 of those glasses are the ones in which my mom would give me milk, and in later years, coffee, every single day to wake me up in the morning. I brought them with me after she passed and used them every day. Letters, some special greeting cards, diaries in which I wrote poems, my baby album and baby clothes that my mom gave me when I had my daughter. Some jewelry too. A songbook from when I was in 1st grade in a convent school. Pong. Story time. In college. I got a job in a restaurant. Eventually they trained me behind the bar. I went 2 weeks without tips, working training wage hourly. First night out of training I decided to blow the whole tip jar on something. I just didn't know how much that something would be, since I hadn't earned tips yet. We ended up slammed that night. I walked out with $25,020 years ago. I ended up getting some really nice handmade glass bong. I still have it, though it no longer gets any use. Some of my old drawings from high school. Tape CDs, a stuffed bear that my grandmother gave me for graduation, a pewter sculpture of a guy summoning a demon. I loved that sculpture so much, and I was broke as hell at that point in life. I put it on layaway. It took me months to pay that thing off. I still like it, but I also like it as a reminder of that period in life, and a barometer of what's changed. I have expendable cash now, and what hasn't. I still like weird demonic shit. I have a Yashica D medium format camera that I bought for $25 when I was in college, and the guy threw in a tripod for another $10. I still have both items, and still use both of them from time to time. This gear got me started doing photography professionally, and helped me earn money for more expensive cameras, and served as a backup when said cameras malfunctioned. I even tried to sell it twice, and it wouldn't function for either buyer. So I bought it back. It will always be mine. All my memorabilia from following Sir Rod Stewart around the US for his 1984 concert tour. Managed to save all my t-shirts, ticket stubs, ads promoting the concerts in every city, and a bunch of junk if anyone else was to look through. The large plastic totes filled with my memories. It has been 40 years. I'm now 6'1". Lit over 50 years since that time in my growing up, and I rarely haul all of it out to look through it. But when I do, it make me smile and grieve, all simultaneously. I will be 49 at the end of March. I still have and wear my leather jacket from when I was 18. I may or may not occasionally sport the combat boots and flannels to complete the ensemble. My mum got me the jacket when I agreed to cut off my long hair. I promptly grew it right back. It also fit in nicely with the rockabilly look I sported for about 20 years. Now back to long hair lore. Mum would probably be disappointed to see the long hair made a comeback. In university in the late 80s, I worked part-time as a telephone repair guy. One day in a customer's basement, he had a made-in-Japan Fender Stratocaster clone in a garbage pail in his basement. I asked him why and he explained it didn't work. He agreed to let me have it, and with 5 minutes of soldering and a $5 jack it was making music again. I still have that guitar today. I've upgraded the internals and it's one of the nicest guitars I own. 23 also. After university I went to ski in a CO ski town. Bought an annual pass for the lifts with a picture, like a driver's license. If you got stopped by the ski patrol for a violation, depending upon the severity of the violation, you would be charged 1, 2 or 3 points, and the points would be melted through your pass. I got stopped for going way too fast. My annual pass has the number to punch through it. Not 50, but I've had one item for at least as long as this post once. I played softball when I was a little kid, and one year they gave me this jersey that was enormous. Way too big for me, like it was an adult X. And I was a small 7-year-old kid. Still have it. The design has gotten pretty beat up and scratchy, but it's still very comfortable to sleep in. I'm 36 now, and it's still too big on me, lol. Not 50, but there are some things I've had 30-ish years. My starter jacket that I got in 1993. My favorite teddy bear from when I was little, that my daughter also slept with every night when she was little. My grandfather's sterling silver mechanical pencil from the 1920s there. For some reason, my dad let me have when I was 12, and I somehow didn't lose it, still on my desk at work. I think I have one remaining t-shirt from that era. There's one thing I can think of that I've had for a lot longer than those 37 years. A weather radio that my dad gave me when I was a kid. It does one thing, tunes to a predetermined weather channel, and an automated voice reports the weather. It's been in a drawer ever since, touched very seldom to test it, and still works perfectly. I have a backpack that my wife, then girlfriend, gave me. I initially used it to carry books from college classes. Then for a while I would carry it out on forest fires while I worked that job. Since changing careers I have used it primarily as a bag to carry lunch, etc. to from work. It's also been used on hiking and canoe trips. I've even used it as a carry-on for short flights. Black hiking boots. They need to be resold, but these things were my go-to during my faded jeans and hiking boots phase. Now, they're my vacation boots every time I see them. I remember the trips I took where they were my main footwear. I have a place that can repair them, but I'm leery. They lost a pair of sandals I needed work on. I'm not willing to lose these vacation boots. A hand-painted Matryoshka doll of Soviet Premier, starting smallest inside with Lenin and ending with Gorbachev largest outside. My college roommate got it for me when his grandfather took him to Moscow almost immediately after Glasnost went into effect and foreign tourists were more welcome. Still displayed in my living room. It is always a conversation starter. I have an International Harvester 300 utility diesel tractor which runs well. It was new in 1957. I bought it in 1975 when I was 16. If you don't account for inflation, it's worth significantly more than what I paid for it. I also have a 1967 Gravely tractor I inherited from my father. I used to mow my 1 acres. I also have a fair number of hand tools. I'm 65. A stand mixer given as a bridal shower gift, not KitchenAid. Use it 2 or 3 times a year. Got it 4 years before my 23rd birthday. Edit to add, I also have my mother's Corningware that I use almost daily. Some of the pieces are as old or older than I am and still look brand new. Except for the glass lids, they definitely look a bit ill-used. My father is in his 70s. And he's still got a pair of underwear from when he was 23. Calls them his groins. You see, they started as a medium pair of boxers and slowly turned into a thong. Says the back end gets lost sometimes. That there's nothing quite like the feeling of age-old comfort strapping the old sweaty meat slap between the folds. Almost 50. But I have a fleece hoodie that my mom gave me on my birthday when I was 15 or 16. I'm wearing it right now. One sleeve is not elastic anymore, and it's really thin. Everything else got wiped out after my dad died, and the family on his side helped themselves to everything inside the house. Didn't even leave a spoon in the drawer. I'm 53. When I was about 19, I bought a coffee mug with MC Escher's print 3 worlds Escher on it. I bought it in a head shop, https://infinities.com. And I was so clueless I didn't realize what all those pipes in the case were for. Somehow still have it all these years later. Nearly 50. I have a small handmade pottery vase from a town in Italy. It is famous for painting roosters on their pottery. Got it when I was 20 and spent a couple months in southern Italy. It has survived the flight back. Many moves, storage, left outside to be used as an ashtray, and now sits in my home office desk. I have an amazing pair of hiking boots. I got them when I was 20 and loved them so much I took really good care of them and still wear them today. I am 62. They truly don't make things the way they used to. These boots are still nearly pristine once I clean them with incredible soles. I will truly die with my boots on. I have a blue jacket with a sewed-on gas station uniform type of embroidered name tag that says John and the logo patch for Yodyne Propulsion Systems. I used to wear it everywhere and most people thought I worked there. Walked into a comic book shop and the guy running the place got the reference. A few others did. 60. Living in first college apartment age 20 and fell for a sales promotion to purchase kitchen pots, plates and glassware because you also got beer mugs. But it turned out the pots were excellent quality double wall stainless. And my wife and I still use them every day, have replaced the handles multiple times. I still have my US Army duffel bag and some other TA-50 items that I was able to procure from further back. I still have my high school senior year shirt and all the yearbooks. I still have a belt that I made in Boy Scouts, and a pocket knife I carried back then. I've even got some stuff from Cub Scouts.